Hello and welcome to an episode of XCOM. This is a mid to late game mission, a Shadow Ops mission. And if the Oscars have been too white for you, we've got all the black actors and action heroes here. And that will go on mission for you. Starting with Colonel Ray Fox, Jamie Fox, of course. His nickname is Ray, and we're just having a look at the equipment. This would be Heimdall, and we don't want two sharpshooters possibly, but as you can see, it's not always easy to find replacements because, well, XCOM soldiers do tend to get injured on the missions, and that doesn't change in late game, not necessarily. As you can see, they have all this shiny armor. I really love that aspect. That was a nice surprise. Of course, you can change the colors and some patterns on it, but this shiny metallic look is kind of appealing to me. Looks a little bit campy, but well, I love the organic look, and it just looks very, very powerful. Well done, Firaxis. This is Captain Will Bad Boy Smith. So he's a ranger, of course, very, very aggressive. I'm looking at weapon, to outfit the weapon a little bit more. I specifically equipped Will Smith with a plasma rifle as opposed with a shotgun derivative, just to try some different tactics. So he's standing a little bit more back than the usual ranger. This is Idris Elba, so I'm taking Heimdall anyway, because well, two sharpshooters isn't that bad. He's a pistol sharpshooter though, so he's specialized on pistol shooting, which is sometimes not as useful. It really depends on your playstyle. I've had more success and better experiences with somebody like Major Nyong'o, who is a very traditional sharpshooter, and that's extra range that she has, especially when going on Overwatch, has paid off several times by now. Okay, some of the weapons I haven't even upgraded yet, and it was only recently that I got all those nifty little upgrades, so now I can actually make use of some of them. Weapon design is absolutely fantastic. If you compare it to the graphics and the weapons in XCOM 1, this is so many steps beyond that. I can't even count them. The whole weapon progression, all the little extra things in between, they are just awesome. Okay, here we go. Finally, not going to South Africa, but Madagascar. Oh, who cares? It's just the South African zone. And well, this might. Be a good time to listen to Central Officer Bradford. That was the sentence I was about to finish. Yeah, this is one of the few things that's a little bit annoying. The load times before a mission are quite extensive, so if you do have an SSD disk in your computer, you might want to install XCOM there. That helps a lot with mission load times. On the other hand, once you've gone into the modding tools, which I haven't, but I have seen the video, then you understand what the game is doing. It's not only loading assets, but I'm pretty sure it's constructing the map just while we wait. And so far my experience with those maps is that I have not seen any map that is even remotely close to any other. So it's a really, really well implemented system of doing those maps with random elements that make sense when put together. So, yay. Okay, here's the mission, which is quite difficult. We are starting on the wrong end of the map and have to defend something that we are not even at yet. So we have to see that we get there as soon as possible, but at the same time we don't want to run into an ambush ourselves, but rather prepare one, especially for any initial aliens that we find. So especially for the first one, getting cover from two sides is really, really important, because your cover will be blown once an enemy flanks you. So if a patrol just walks past you, even if they didn't see you initially, if they end up looking at your flanks, they see you and then all hell breaks loose. So fortunately in this game, if you send somebody moving and running, you can always tap to the next one while the move is still going on. That really helps to speed up things if you want to. Sometimes I just like to watch them running. Confirmed. And of course half moves are good, because sometimes you think you're moving ahead into territory that is not problematic, only to reveal an alien and suddenly you're seen by them. That usually ends up in all numbers of messy ways. The pathfinding is quite good. So the trooper that you send actively avoids zones where he would be detected, and also it gives you an indication whether you are passing through any zones that would make you would unreveal your trooper. Okay, we found our first pod, and there's an Andromedon in there, and those are pretty nasty. If you haven't seen those, they are fun. They are really fun. The very first one I encountered really scared the heebie-jeebies out of me. That was quite a surprise. If you haven't seen it yet, well, you might want to consider stop watching, not to spoil your fun. They are really, really interesting. Definitely high up on the list of enemies to take care of first. Okay, the amount of cover that's available here initially is quite limited due to those pedestrians to the left. They are a bit annoying. So I'm pretty much forced to set up most of my guys up on the roof.
Closing on target position now.
The good thing here is we're not on a clock. The bad thing is, while we dawdle, the enemy that has actually found our transmitter will happily shoot at it. As we can see here, it has quite a few hit points, but at some point you need to draw attention away from it. So getting into an open shootout early actually does make sense on this card, and is good for dramatic purposes, because you have plasma and bullets and everything fly very, very early. Okay, let's see whether he can go in there. Acid bomb is usually a very, very good idea against armored targets, In this case, not so much, because the Andromedon is not in no way affected by it. Well, let's get everybody into position and into Overwatch before I launch the bomb. That usually makes for a good ambush. Okay. Plasma grenade, yeah, that would work. I would get far enough. The rocket launcher is better. It has a smaller target, and if they're bunched up like this, I'd rather keep the wider radius grenade for later, in order to catch more aliens in it. Ooh, that was lucky. I didn't even see the Advent shield guy. And I got them in the rocket radius. Okay, here's the first one, and that one is gone. And the second one is gone. And now it's only the Andromedon left, and that one, surprisingly, apparently is a much more difficult target. I usually have one ranger that is not participating in the ambush, especially if it's a shotgun ranger, because they usually have abysmal range, and it's usually good to have a far-ranging option later on that can mop up or do something else that is important. So in this case, I'm just taking Wesley Blade Snipes and have him protect the others. He has Blade Storm, so if something tries to pass him, he will get another attack with his blade, which is an excellent skill to have. That's what I meant. Shotguns don't have the best range. That's a pre-plasma level shotgun. She's pretty good. You're seeing all this acid that the Andromedon is trading. That's pretty nasty. Okay. We'll certainly get rid of this one, but we have to get ahead and think about the mission goal as well. So here's the shotgun. And that one is gone. First pod eliminated. But now we have to go to the right, because the left is pretty much cut off. And ideally I want to get on a roof, but I don't really know what's over there. We know something shot at the transmitter, so we don't really want to run into it. I'll get her on cover, because her range is basically unlimited with long watch. And here's the thing, if I go through the acid, it shows that, which is very, very nice, very helpful. Same applies to fire or to audio. That's the acid marker that you see. And it both tells you where you will get it, and whether, if you do a move to a certain location, whether you will end up going through something like that. So it's, the pathfinding is pretty good and very, very helpful for players. Okay, that is obviously a window that is not easily seen through, which may be a good thing depending on what's on the other side. But now I have to really speed things up and get everybody up there, and hopefully in some sort of cover. Okay, let's give him a little bit of Overwatch. Ooh, a Viper. Okay, that didn't work so well. He got 1 damage for missing it because of a weapon attachment he has on. And they both miss. That is not good news. And another Andromedon. That is bad news. They pretty much just destroy those buildings. Ooh, and there's more. So this is getting a little bit urgent here. which is a nice feature that XCOM2 cultivates. You rarely have the time to advance as cautiously as you maybe were used to in XCOM 1. There's usually some sort of time pressure, or here a mission pressure that gives you a bad trade-off between having to move fast and trying to get everybody to survive. That really doesn't always work in your favor. This is a small radius grenade, but I want to try whether I can get the Andromedon to fall down and take damage that way. That's why I'm using the hand grenade first. Of course, with the Andromedon, explosive worked best in order to get his armor down, because that kind of that amount of armor can get very, very annoying. Didn't work exactly in this case, even though he was shown to be in the radius. I think he didn't take any damage, but that's the general idea. Get the armor away before you kill things. That's what makes acid bombs extremely interesting. They do a lot of shattering, and of course having a grenadier that specializes on removing armor, or a gunner that does the same thing with his machine gun, that works too. But in general, I would say I prefer the grenadier because of the indirect fire and the area attacks, area of effect attacks. So let's see, building, there's a lot of shredding going on, and he actually fell down. Did he take another? Yeah, that's another 5 damage. And there's more, there's another one. Yeah, for moving to protect the gear, we're doing a lot of collateral damage here. Let's see whether that works out. And we're still pretty far away. And there's loot. Loot. Me wants loot. Loot. Go there. Loot. Let's see. Okay. It's kind of easy to forget to take up these, but the loot, especially in later mission, is really fabulous. If you pretty much, you can buy some of those weapon attachments, but in general it helps a lot if you loot the battlefield, and after 3 turns usually the loot is gone, so it's most times it's worth picking it up, especially if you have the vulture expansion and the what it's called. It's not the officer candidate school here, it's the guerrilla tactics school. Okay, yeah. Sometimes it's very, very neat when he kills approaching enemies with his sword, but they can also miss, as here, and the melee against armored opponents is less than spectacular most of the time. Here's another blade storm, and that one does get damage, but it's also another, well, near miss. So, oh, he's got a new girlfriend. Who would have thought, Mr. Smith? That's very, very intimate there. Of course, we have a few people who might want to do something about that, but we have quite a far range of enemies too, so this is going to be an interesting puzzle to solve. Can we get Will Smith out of this predicament? Maybe I shouldn't have called him Bad Boy, but Mib. I certainly dressed him in black. Yeah, it doesn't really do a lot. I can't just put a grenade in there, that would be the easiest. I can do a lot of different things though.
Who's keeping score?
Oops. Okay, I destroyed the rider, but the suit is still active. Too bad. Okay, Pam Grier, she was bitching about it. She wanted to be a bona fide action trooper, but she ended up being the nurse. So I like to keep her back a bit. Okay, that took care of the snake. Oh, let's get him away from this melee attack. That may heighten his survivability. Oh, what's that? That is bad. Oh no. Did I just talk about survivability? I think I just reduced that a lot. Okay, this is really bad news. Not the Advent Troopers, but the Sectopod. That can get really, really nasty. Okay, so this is what a mission can turn into, just a cesspool of a mess. Okay, I won't get there far enough to attack with a blade, and it would probably not kill that guy anyway. So why don't I just move up and then take a grenade? Might get me a double explosion eventually out of the car. This is plasma grenade, so that's 5 damage, and the car is burning. That's one Sunlancer taken care of. Okay, reloading. The plasma rifles are a good candidate for the attachment that gives you free reloads or additional scary or additional magazine spots, stuff like that. Okay, my mission is almost finished. The Sectopod has almost finished the transmitter. It's really time I do something about this. I hope he doesn't shoot it again. Okay. He's rather looking for my XCOM operatives. That usually is bad news. Just veritable bad news. Okay, that's almost there with 8. It's the wrong tech tier for those blades. I'm still behind on that. You need to discover the tech for it, and then you need to actually build it, which costs resources and supplies and other stuff. So you will not necessarily be on the same tech level with every ouch. Ooh, he's bleeding out. That's nasty. So it's very improbable to get him out of there alive. Very, very improbable. Problem is, an acid bomb in there would help a lot, but it would also likely destroy the body of Will Smith. Yeah, we don't want that. So, do I have any position where I can get both the Sectopod and that Advent Trooper? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. So, I'll settle for the second best and put the acid bomb on the Sectopod, which is basically what I had it for. You're seeing 4 shredded. That's excellent. That helps a lot against a big enemy like the sectopod. The acid grenade is found in the proving grounds, so you need a little bit to get a little bit lucky to get it early, but it really helps. So far it's the best extra weapon system that you can get. Damage, that isn't shabby. So that puts a huge dent into the sectopod. I do have another. Heimdall hasn't done a lot yet. It's about time. Another 9. Very, very decent. Let's say respectable. I still have a few troopers here. Well, let's take Blade first. I mean, it's what he was famous for, wasn't it? And he's probably one of the few actors here that actually have martial arts training. So him dealing with the swords just makes sense. Let's put it that way. Okay, Foxy Greer can only see one opponent. Jamie Foxx can see several. One is exposed, which normally is a good indication or a good idea to shoot at those guys before they can take cover, but the number one option right now is the sectopod, and yeah, it's just too small. I mean, with a fully automatic plasma rifle, I can't hit that. It just got scared, so it took 1 damage. Haywire protocol, that would be nice. But it's not her specialty. That's what Morpheus is for. That's a specialist that is fully specialized on hacking. And this is the trick on the sectopod. And that explodes once again. Wondering how long the building will hold out. I've done so much structural damage to it yet, and there's more. Oh right, there were 2 advent troopers back there. Whew. Okay, you would probably die next turn anyway, but can't let him have there. This one is immune to acid. It's a walking acid bomb. Can he still attack after moving twice? There's somebody bleeding out. Okay, let's get into safety.
Let's move already.
Heimdall has a very good shot from there, so let's use that first. Always important to see who has got what angle in order to efficiently allocate your attacks. That worked pretty well. Let's see. Oh, she can't even see anything now. That's unfortunate. So let's put her on long watch. Okay, let's get Wesley Snipes further ahead, and he's got him before he could shoot and not in cover. That's just asking for it. And he missed for 3 damage, but he missed. 2 more rounds until Will Smith bleeds out. So we're feeling the pressure. At least they are not shooting at the transmitter. That's a good thing, I guess. Yeah, being a soldier sucks sometimes. Okay, let's stabilize that guy. That also means we can't lob any explosives into that direction. I need to stay well clear of it. Hopefully the aliens will ignore him and we can have a chance to keep him alive. No, acid burn for 1? That is rare. Usually if they are in acid, they just die on the subsequent turns. Of course, he's now running into Bladestorm radios, and Wesley Snipes misses. And gets stunned in the process. Wonderful. So, yay Wesley Snipes. I've seen this different before. Then he was an absolute hero. Killing several people coming up to him. But I guess these guys have already very decent dodge values or something like that. The missing gets much more pronounced. Okay, that was a bit of an overkill. But that is dead. Okay, there's still one. Let's try to get a better angle here. It's unlikely that a lot of aliens are still coming out for her to take a shot at. There's not much cover left there. I did a pretty decent job of remodeling this cityscape.
Here I come.
Acid bomb. Yeah, that would catch the body. That's not the best idea. So maybe I'll just have to take the weapon. Which works just nicely. Overmuch removed. That was kind of an understatement.
All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Okay, we made it. Only 2 soldiers wounded, but this could have ended in absolute disaster. So I got really lucky on this one. Oh, the guys look happy enough. Even Mr. Smith. He should be in near coma and on a stretcher, but there he is, making jokes. The one thing that is setting this game apart, you don't see any blood. Which I guess is a good thing. I don't know. There may be a mod for it at some point or some option to turn it on. But there simply is no blood spatter, things like that, that you might have gotten used to from other games. Which is okay. It's not the focus of this game. It's on the tactical action, it's on the research, on the strategic options. Well, it's kind of weird to have somebody who's just a death door and just sitting in the Sky Ranger and making jokes. But maybe that is just asking for too much detail. Let's see. Getting back can take a little while as well. Usually it's a lot faster than getting to a mission. You can look at the different colors. They're pretty much all wearing the same suit. Jamie Foxx is wearing a war suit that has a built-in rocket launcher, but is on the same tech level as the other. And I especially like the red combination that Wesley Snipes is wearing. Okay, we're arriving at the Sky Ranger. And now you can see even the guy who should be on a stretcher is walking on his own feet back and just resting on his knees. It's a promotion for Mr. Smith. I like untouchable. That has saved me several times by now. You killed somebody and the next shot just misses you. Especially for rangers who just operate ahead of everybody else, that can be invaluable to keep them alive. So far the kill ratio or the the losses have been most hard on the Ranger class, so I usually need more of those than of other classes. Of course, they get injured a lot. And once more, the operation ends with an assessment by our good friend. And now we're back in our Avenger. We did bring a new engineer, and this is it. Thank you for watching.